All right, I still haven't been able to convince you on how important it is not to discard your EVF when you're shooting. So I've decided to go to drastic measures. I'm gonna get a puppy to help me make the point. What do you think? You think so? You think so? Okay, good. All right, the EVF on our cameras is one of those things that I think so many of us casually dismiss without taking into account the amazing benefits that come from having these EVFs built in today's modern cameras. It is something that can greatly improve how you shoot and the imagery that you come back with. So what I want to do is talk about what I consider the top 5 benefits of using this EVF in the camera and hopefully helping you become a better shooter. Now the first benefit of this is an absolutely gigantic one, and that is this. If you are in a situation where you find yourself ever shooting outside or you're competing against bright lights, this allows you to easily check your exposure, focus, and avoid eye fatigue in bright settings. And if you've ever shot outside in any sort of time, you will find yourself constantly battling the sun. And even if you're not using this, even if you have like an Athens or something else on there, you're still cranking that thing up as high as you can, and it starts to distort your image fidelity that you get as far as exposure and things like that. You can be tricked by shrinking your monitor all the way up. The EVF gives you a much more accurate, in my opinion, feeling of what that image is going to come like. Most cameras have very well calibrated EVFs, actually better than what you'll get on a lot of your external monitors. And if you've ever been outside shooting in a long setting in the sun all day, say in Georgia in July, fighting the sun after 8 hours will give you an incredible headache. So using this EVS also protects you physically to let you go out there and keep on shooting. Now, another benefit of the EVF is actually the size. And I know you're gonna say, but Bryan, how is this tiny little screen gonna be the size? Well, think about it. When you push your eye into it, that screen suddenly becomes equivalent, much bigger than what you have here. And the things I've always read about, I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but this is what I've read, is that when you look through your EVF, it's the equivalent of looking at a 17-inch monitor. Now think about that for a second. Imagine if you were walking around with a 17-inch monitor on top of your camera. You're gonna get so much more detail, you're gonna get so much more information, and you know, even if that's wrong, even if it's not exactly 17 inches, it's still much bigger than a 7-inch monitor you might have or a 5-inch monitor. So having that extra size relative of looking in there, what your eye sees, gives you that much more chance for detail. Now the next benefit that I think is really important is building on that, and that is simply this. Once you put this thing up to your eye, it allows you to remove distractions. It really lets you focus solely on the image and nothing else. And I know when I do a lot of EVF shooting, when I'm up there, I'll often be up and I'll have 2 eyes open. I'll have one eye kind of just monitoring my environment and the other eye looking through. But what's great, if I need to, I can quickly close this eye, and the only thing that matters is what I'm seeing through that lens. And this is something that is critical to give you that ability. You don't want to get home in the computer and figure out something that you missed in the camera that was critical. Nothing compares to the focus you can get from an EVF. There's just something about it that lets you lock into the image and get ready to roll. Now, the other benefit of this for video shooting is actually increased stability. If I'm holding a camera like this, I have 2 points of contact, each of my hands. But if I hold up my EVF to my eye, boom, I automatically make a 3rd point of contact here for my camera, and it gives me much more stable shots. It's just a basic mechanical thing that makes a big difference in how you shoot. And really the last benefit from this, I would say, especially if you're in the commercial world, is going to be discretion. Let's be honest, every take you take is not going to be the most perfect or great take. And I found myself many times on set when I am recording something, let's say I need to do a playback. Well, if I hit the playback, I can lift this up to my eye and I can watch the playback here on my EVF. The client isn't going to see the playback, right? So if something's off, they're not going to get worried about it. Then, when it's all said and done, I can show the clients just the ones I want them to see. And this saves you from that pixel peeping, it saves you from that over-the-shoulder thing, and lets you work with a little more confidence to know, because hey, we all screw up. We only want people to see what we want them to see and not necessarily things to screw up. So having that discretion that comes from an EVF is really helpful. Anyway, guys, I love EVFs. I just wanted to share that with you. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Leave me any notes and comments down below. And yeah, go out there, keep on shooting. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.